And we have on the telephone with us Reba McEntire. Reba, it's good to hear from you again. It's been some time since we've seen you. It was at a personal appearance here in St. Louis.
That's sure right. It's been a while. How you doing?
Oh, just fine. It's good to hear from you. Let's take it back to the beginning. Give us something about your childhood and what led you into music.
Well, that's going back a little bit. I'm a third-generation rodeo brat. How music and rodeoing got together. My grandpap rodeoed, my father rodeoed, and while Daddy was traveling on the road, he had Mama and us 4 kids with him once in a while. And that's how we passed the time in the old car, because we didn't have a radio. We'd sing. Mama would teach us kids 4-part harmony, and a couple would take the lead or whatever. And while we was on the road all the time, that's what we did was sing. And so it gradually went on into school, first grade, all the the special events like the Christmas programs and everything. Us kids would be singing the programs. I did the solo for Away in a Manger in the first grade. That was my first time I ever did a solo by myself, besides with Peg and Susie. And so when it went on into junior high, high school, college, I was always singing. And when I went into the college, I was singing the national anthem at the National Finals Rodeo in Oklahoma City. And a good friend of mine now called Red Stegall happened to be there that night. And he said anybody who could sing the national anthem and who was red-headed couldn't be all bad. So he got me a contract with Mercury Records in 1975, and I've been with them ever since.
You're from Stringtown, Oklahoma?
Uh-huh.
And would we know the, did your grandfather and your dad win honors at rodeoing?
Yeah, Grandpapa was the world champion steer roper in 1934. And Daddy, Clark McEntire, was the world champion steer roper in 57, 58, and 1961.
I guess we would know him then, wouldn't we? And so that led you into music.
Uh-huh. I rodeoed an awful lot when I was a little kid. Me and Peg and Alice, and then Susie, my little sister, she never did perform much, but we rodeoed an awful lot, and music just kind of always blended into it real well.
You were a barrel racer, weren't you?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I competed for about 10 years, and then after me and Charlie Battles, my husband got married, the music business started coming along a little bit better, and I was a lot better at it than I was running barrels, so we kind of decided it might be better to stay in a field I was more successful in.
Charlie was in the rodeo, wasn't he?
Yeah, Charlie's a world champion steer wrestler in the IRA.
I thought I recognized his name.
Yeah, he was world champion in 1970, 71, 72.
And I guess in that business, y'all run across Mike Bandy quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Now then, Reba, you're talking to me from your hometown of Stringtown, Oklahoma.
Uh-huh.
And I talked to you before we got on the air about driving through there many times, and you don't see too much of Stringtown when you just drive through there in the hills. You're on that highway there.
Yeah.
You live in Stringtown. How do you decorate your home?
I decorate my home?
Yeah.
Well, it's very simple. It's just a modest little house. We've been living here for 2 years, and it's well, the outside is brick and cedar, and well, the inside I've got lots of pictures hanging. I'm a picture fanatic, and I've got a Western oil painting and a few old Western scenes, and of course the pictures of the family and stuff like that. And it's just kind of Western decor.
Do you have horses?
Oh yeah, we got horses, cattle, cats, and dogs, and a bunch of squirrels, and wild turkeys, and deer. And it's just a heaven out here. We just love it.
Do you have some land down there?
Yeah, we've got about 215 acres.
Well, what do you do as a hobby?
Well, I read a lot. I work in my flower garden when it's when I can. Of course, right now I can't, but I go out and help Charlie with the cattle a little bit, and get my stuff straightened back up here in the house, and clean up the house. I like to cook a lot, and that's what they're hollering in there now. Get in here and cook if you're wanting to cook. They're getting hungry. Oh, shoot.
Tell us about what you've got in your future.
Well, there's a lot of things in the future that we're planning on. We're wanting a better stage show. We're wanting to really give the people their money's worth. We're wanting to, when we walk on stage and do our show and leave, make the people just can't wait till we come back to see them again. And that's a lot of work because as many people as there are on the road today that are so well equipped and put on such good shows. It's a very competitive business, and we're going to have to really work for that.
Seems there are a lot of new artists around that make the competition, as you say, very keen. And you're going to have a #1 record here. As a matter of fact, by the time this gets on the air, your record will be #1 in the Midwest Sound Countdown on WIL.
Great. We'll hear that.
Can't Even Get the Blues. And tell us a little bit about some of your songs. Are there any interesting stories behind any of the maybe favorite hits you've had in the past?
Well, the one story that I can remember best of all that stands out in my mind, of course, it was my first top 10 record. That was a good reason why it stands out. You Lift Me Up to Heaven. The first time I heard it, me and Charlie were living up at Chalky. That's about 7 miles north of here. It's a little bitty small town, and we lived at that time in a little 2-bedroom, 3-room house. And we had to haul every drop of water we had to it, and it was $10 a month to rent it. And it was, just about to fall down around our ears. It was just a place for us to park our stuff. And I had just bought a deep freeze, and it had a bunch of old blackberries in it. I bought it at an estate auction. And I was in the kitchen that day trying to fix me a blackberry cobbler, because Grandma used to fix them so well.
Sounds good.
And I was trying them out, and phone rang, and Jerry Kennedy, my producer there at Mercury, said, I've got the monster hit we need. And he said, now you listen to this song. So he played You Lift Me Up to Heaven on the telephone for me, and of course you can imagine how that sounded on the telephone. And I was more concerned at the time about my blackberry cobbler, to say the least, but he got a big kick out of it because I was telling him to hurry up because I was wanting to get back in there with my cobbler. And come to find out, that was the song that got us in the top 10, and my blackberry cobbler turned out pretty good.
So the cobbler and the record turned out well.
Yeah.
That's an interesting story. What about Can't Even Get the Blues?
The first time I ever heard that song, I fell in love with it because it hit a spark in me that I never heard before. It was, I didn't take it as a rock and roll song at all. I took it as almost an old-timey country blues song. And the point it was getting across was that, the women are kind of fed up with the running around, and I'm not going to cry anymore, so don't wait for the tears to fall. And every aspect about the song is something that it touched me, that a woman can really identify with it.
All right. Now, how about, do you write songs?
Yeah, I have written several songs. I wrote a song about Daddy, and it was on my second album, Out of a Dream. And that's about the only one I've recorded and released, though, as of yet. But I'm starting into my publishing company, and we're trying to get into more of that aspect of the business.
As a song, what do you like better? Do you like songwriting or performing or making records?
Ooh, I like them all, but I like singing best.
You like the singing best?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'll leave the songwriting to the professionals, but once in a while a song idea will come into my head. But if I have to pick over my song just because it's mine or a good song, I'll pick the best song.
Does Charlie still run the business end of your career?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he helps me as much as he can with the music business. We're both learning on it, and he takes care of the ranch and the cattle, and he still rodeos a little bit, not as much as he used to. But yeah, he's very instrumental in my career. He's the one that got the bus, and heck, we'd still been probably driving in a car in a van if it was left up to me. But he jumped off and got the bus, and he's a big help. I couldn't do it without him.
That was the next question I was going to ask you about, whether you had gotten a bus yet.
Yeah, Charlie brought it in right after Mother's Day, so I call it my Mother's Day present.
Do you carry your own band?
Uh-huh. Yeah, they're called Chalky Mountain, because the guys used to practice in the little house that me and Charlie used to live in up there at Chalky, so we called them Chalky Mountain. And some's from Florida and Texas, and the rest of them's from Oklahoma.
Well, it sounds like you have your career in gear, so to speak.
We're very proud of it. We've worked hard on it, and me and the guys and my manager and the William Morris, my booking agency, and Mercury Records, everybody's really worked hard together, and it's been a slow growing process that's taken on a lot of roots. And I'm very proud of that. Now that now that I kind of know what's going on a little bit better, I still hadn't learned it all, Lord knows that's for sure. But we feel like we've kind of got a grasp of things now and kind of can accept whatever can come our way.
A lot of girl singers have come out of Oklahoma. both past and present. I can think of Gail Davies and Patty Page for a past and present.
Jody Miller.
And Jody Miller. And I wanted to ask you, too, does Jody do anything now? Does she still live in Oklahoma?
I think she lives still in Blanchard, Oklahoma. Her and her husband are in the horse business.
Yeah, I knew they were in the horse business, and I hadn't heard from her in a long time.
I haven't either.
What about television?
Oh, we love to do television. We've done the Johnny Carson show, all the syndicated TV shows out of Nashville, and we're hoping to do a lot more. I'd even like to get into, a few little parts in some series, kind of like.
Do you think television as a regular thing like Barbara Mandrell had it hurt your career?
Would it hurt my career?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think it would. I'm not as talented as Barbara Mandrell, and I couldn't go in as many fields as she does, so I think they might get a little bored with me.
What I was driving at, I've noticed that most of the people that get on TV as a regular thing seem to lose their impact in the record business.
Well, I can understand why. If you see them every week on TV, why would you want to go out and spend money at a concert for them or buy a record when you can just turn on the TV for free? I could see where that sure would hurt.
Are you looking forward to, or have you already traveled out of the country?
No, I haven't yet, and I'm looking forward to that. I kind of feel like I need to get them used to me here in the United States before I start meandering off into Europe somewhere, but I am looking forward to having the opportunity to travel abroad, yeah.
Reba McEntire, thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you. I sure enjoyed visiting with you.
Hey, Reba, that was fine.
Thank you.